Hello, hello. Well, my Scorn fellow teammate, player, friend, buddy, dude, wants to wants to stress test Makeda 3 and see what her good matchups are, what her bad matchups are. Just kind of feel her out and get to know how she performs better. So we are playing into. He's playing his Makeda 3 into Vyros 2, which is one of the things that is a potential answer for Makeda 3. I think this is about as good as of a matchup as it's going to get for me going into Scorn. And this will hopefully answer a lot of questions about myself as how to play into Scorn and Makeda 3 and if Vyros 2 is going to be the Scorn drop. So he goes first. He gets up the board pretty quickly. Molik Karn's in a somewhat threatening position. And a couple of things that are working against me in this matchup is Makeda 3 has a spell, Deathbringers. The Bulwark doesn't really affect me a whole lot, although defense 16 is annoying. It's something I can overcome. But Deathbringers allows them to ignore Imperitus' primary defensive tactic of the Phoenix Protocol, which gives him 17 boxes back, and he's uncrippled and wastes damage. Grievous Wounds, which is from Deathbringers, will ignore that on all his beasts, making Imperitus not quite as valuable in this matchup. One of the things that I really value about Imperitus is mid and late game, he can go kill a heavy, and then if he's only in range of one other heavy, he usually doesn't die, and then can kill that second heavy and make more than his points value. That being taken away hurts. So, but my opponent really hates Imperitus, so it's something I'm going to be looking to leverage this game. The other thing is Insight is very good for killing my models, and I need to take board position so I can threaten Makeda if he ever tries to use Insight. That being said, I set things up very specifically here so that this Archidon can walk and hit Imperitus, but then nothing else can touch Imperitus. This turtle, if it charges the Aspis, very carefully measured out, will not have, there's nowhere it can land where it can also get Imperitus. Same with Molik Karn. Molik Karn hitting the Aspis, even with perfect sidesteps, cannot sidestep to Imperitus. Basically, the only options he has is if Archidon goes on to Imperitus, and then Turtle tramples to Imperitus. The reason why this is worth it to me is that it can start the piece trade of Turtle taking Turtle and an Archidon for Imperitus, which to me feels like a good trade. Also, this Shaman over here is actually the Brute, the dude with the shield and the spear. He's being proxied. So that's what we're looking at. And more or less, Eiryss is being set up so that she can run over into this forest and start contesting that flag over there, because I fully intend to abandon this whole entire side and try pushing this side using this forest as an advantage. With Imperitus being there, kind of being a little bit of a gamble. With Imperitus being there, I can threaten behind this wall, and I can threaten out. I have great threat projection with Imperitus as a model. And yeah, to put things pretty simply, he goes for it. He gets the Archidon into Imperitus with Grievous Wound. Turtle tramples up and smacks Imperitus to death and jumps out of the way. So that happened. He also did not put anything over here to score this flag, so that's another turn of me having Eiryss be alive. Molik Karn came over here, smacked up the Aspis, sidestepped, and then Fate Walkered away. And there was some really bad... I don't think there was anything else. Yeah, no. There were some really bad dice rolls, guys, with this Archidon trying to smack up that Aspis. I think it's on one box left, but just bad. Like, the Archidon was going to finish off the Aspis and then lightning strike to safety over to here. So that way, what he would be getting is Imperitus and an Aspis for only a Brute, Turtle, and an Archidon. He's played against Vyros 2 a lot, and the way I've learned through experience of how to play Vyros 2 is you don't soft commit, you commit. Synergy takes quite a bit to build up, so the more I can get, the better. I really want that type of full commitment type thing. So to make this pretty simply, my plan is to score this flag. I'm going to contest that zone, score this flag, score this zone right here, and put Eiryss over here to start contesting that flag for later turns. And then all this is going to crash into here and potentially kill this. And then under feet, some of it will be able to back up, and the other stuff so that it can live and then charge back in next turn. And we end up here. So there is a key mistake I made. Everything pretty much went according to plan. I've been getting lazy with Vyros 2 feats, and I'm playing him just a little bit too aggressively. A couple of things first. Why Discordia ended up over here is that an Aspis and like 2 Griffons both missed their boosted 7s that they needed to start synergy. So it got a little awkward, and yeah, a Griffon had to go and kill stuff, and then Discordia had to come and score the zone. I originally wanted to have an extra Griffon to come score the zone and put Discordia somewhere right about here, because I'm giving away Manticore right now, and I've already lost Imperitus, so my last heavy really is Discordia, and I need to leverage that. But the mistake that I made here with Vyros 2 feet is that I don't have anything blocking Molik Karn. And the reason why that's a mistake is Molik Karn can go kill Vyros 2. This is pretty easy to avoid with a Vyros 2 feet. The easy way to avoid it is you either stay out of his range, or you just put something in his way that he has to get rid of. And then Vyros 2 can go somewhere safer, or another thing can move into his way. However, and Molik Karn has a beautiful path, and that's because the turtle was right here. And when I got rid of it, a large space of real estate just disappeared with it. And that real estate is perfect for Molik Karn to go through. This is a positioning mistake by me, and it is something that my opponent takes advantage of, sidesteps to Vyros 2, and kills Vyros 2 and ends the game. So, having said that, let's back up to this turn. This gives me a somewhat decent feel for how Makeda 2 is going to play, or Makeda 3 is going to play into me. Let's say that's about as good as I can get it for kind of an alpha, I guess you could say. This gladiator coming into here and Molik Karn coming into here, they're probably going to kill Manticore and probably 2 Griffons and an Aspis would be my guess. Just the way things are going to work out. And this guy will try to kill Griffon, but probably won't. If he does that, I'm in a really weak scenario, or a really weak attrition spot. Having 3 Griffons, or 2 or 3 Griffons and Discordia doesn't feel very good going up against Molik Karn and a gladiator. Molik Karn definitely has to die, but then the gladiator is just going to get too much work, and he'll be able to leverage insight without me being able to bully him. Giving up Imperitus, I do feel, is a mistake for this matchup. It might have been more worth it to put a Manticore right here. And even though it doesn't have as good threat projection as Imperitus, it is something I could more easily live without. Because if this was... it's just a weird matchup. Deathbringers is really a big deal. Yeah. Scenario could start going my way, though. There is definitely that. I have plenty of Arcanists that I can use as contesting pieces, and he doesn't necessarily. Man, I wish this Griffon pile wasn't here. There should be a lot less Griffons right there. Just the Aspis and 2 Griffons needed to build synergy, and then that 3rd Griffon shouldn't even have been needed. But we found ourselves in that situation. So yeah, that was the game. I need to get my crap together and figure out what I'm going to do into Makeda 3, because this feels like an okay matchup. So I just need to think about it, figure it out more, and figure out where I'm going to be going with it. I think I do have a little bit of a speed advantage besides the turtle. And I think there's some potential to play around that and bait in a bad engagement from the turtle. I would love to just drop Ron into this, or drop Ron into Zadesh, but there's the Zal 2 pairing. And I have a feeling most combinations right now are going to have Immortals in theme. And honestly, Ron might do okay into non-Zal too. Maybe not. The Arcane Vortex is a pretty big deal on those Ancestral Guardians. I'm going to have to take another look at my Ron list and see if it can just be my Scorn drop. Honestly, if I could make Ron go into... and this sounds really dumb to say. Feel free to think I'm crazy. But if I can get Ron to go... the Exalted theme is the only thing in Scorn that's giving Ron a problem right now. And if I can get him to go into that really... it kind of blows Scorn wide open for me. The other thing I could potentially be doing is... my Vyros 2 build right now is anti-gunline and attrition. I could be opening up more assassination options with the build, and I could also be dropping some of its gunline power. And also, Discordium might not be needed since he is mainly in there for anti-gunline and for medium base infantry control. He might not be needed because Ron can potentially do both of those things. Although High Reclaimer is a little bit weird. I don't know what I'm doing into High Reclaimer. This list is partly to go into High Reclaimer by playing a really weird, janky game, just from playing a lot of Testament. That's a matchup I really need to play too. But yeah, thank you for watching, and let me know what you guys think.